All right, so welcome to Setting the Tone podcast. I'm here today with three of our upcoming 7th grade star players that just took second in the country at the Peach Jam. We got RJ Houston, Nasir Lusane, and Lucas Heinl. How do you guys feel the season went? RJ, you start. Just in general, and we'll elaborate later on it.
I think the season went pretty good. I think we got better as a team, even though we didn't win as much tournaments. We played against good competition almost every tournament, and we executed our plays, and we got better. It was way better than last year.
Okay. Nice.
I feel like the season went amazing. I feel like everybody made improvements in different areas. I feel like most of the improvements came within the mind and getting mentally together. But overall, great.
That's good. Yeah.
I feel like we worked harder this year, and same as what Nas said. I feel like our mental got better because Coach Christian, and, the mental stuff, and then we played good competition. But I think the season was good.
I agree. I think the season was awesome. We've been together 3 years now. I think this was our best year. I had the most fun this year. I hope you guys had fun. But I feel like there was just a lot of growth this year. Okay, first of all, we put in a lot of work. We practiced 3 days a week. Our effort and how our culture was in practice was consistent the whole year. And we did a lot of extra stuff off the court, like work with Coach Christian, who got us into some sports psychology exercises and introduced you guys to some really good things that I learned in college and as a pro. You know, I wasn't introduced to those things, and that's really good for you. The mind is so important. You guys are learning that more and more. We did meditations. We did different things on road trips. We had a lot of meetings. We had film sessions where I think you guys learned a lot and took things from it, and it showed up in the last tournament. How you measure success is, first of all, you have to know, what is the goal? The goal is not to just win tournaments. The goal is to grow. The goal is to get better. And I did see a lot of growth this year in good areas, especially from all three of you guys. So that's good. So tell me what the biggest lesson you guys have ever learned is.
The biggest lesson I learned out of all my life, I learned to respect people and treat them how you want to be treated, and talk to somebody when you come in their house or just speak to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. How'd you learn that lesson?
My dad.
Yeah. What about you, Nas?
I feel like putting in work, even when nobody watching or you don't even feel like doing it just sometimes just got to get done.
Yeah. Doing work even when you don't want to do it. Yeah. Lucas?
Same thing as RJ. My dad taught me to just be nice to people because it's like the golden rule. If you be nice to people, be nice to you. Yeah. And then just work hard. If you work hard, it will just pay off.
Not only is it the golden rule, it's biblical. Jesus broke it down into 2 things: love God and love your neighbor, right? How you treat your neighbor is so important. And, we do talk about, how we work with each other as teammates. And I wanted to ask you guys that. So what makes a great teammate?
I think what makes a great teammate is when they look out for me and they help me. When I'm not doing good, they try to calm me down and they just be there for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's huge.
I feel like being a good teammate is picking them up at the lowest times on and off the court. And when they're doing bad, just keep hyping them up. And if they're missing their shots, to keep telling them to shoot it until they start making it.
Yep. Lucas?
Just always help them up. Always be nice and stay positive.
Yep. That's huge. That's huge. That is number one, really. And that's a life thing, right? That transition. And as you said, on and off the court, because we're going to go through things on the court, but off the court too. And this becomes like a brotherhood, and that's powerful, when you're looking out for each other. So another big part of being a good teammate is building trust. Like we talked about that a lot this year. And building trust just comes in forms of like being there consistently, right? Being on time, being at practice after practice, right? That builds trust. I can depend on this guy. He's going to be there executing the plays at all times, up 20, down 20, games on the line, right? And that came into play towards the end of the year. A lot of times, you guys were executing good stuff down the stretch, but we built that. We built that trust. You build the trust with the coach. I can depend on Lucas to set the down screen for RJ and RJ to find Nas in the last seconds because you guys showed that practice after practice. That's part of being a good teammate. It's being consistent. It's being reliable. And it's showing that you can do the little things. You know what I mean? And you guys do a lot of that stuff. So that's great. So tell me one, like the biggest lesson you learned this year through our season.
I think the biggest lesson I learned this year is like staying composed in tough moments. Like you're down 10 points with 2 minutes left. That's still a lot of time to go. So just stay composed and do what you're supposed to do, and you'll find a way.
I felt like dealing with failure, like not winning all the tournaments. I feel like it show you like how to act when you win. It's not like you gotta act the same way as when you lose. Just showing you how to be a better person in life. I feel like because you're not gonna win everything.
Yeah. I was at an event yesterday, and I got to listen to a guy named John Maxwell. He's one of the greatest teachers in the world. And he talks about failure. He's written 3 books, all just about failure. His first book was called Failing Forward. One example he gave is understanding the difference between a good miss and a bad miss, right? So for our season, for example, a bad miss was, well, let's break it down. Our offense, a bad miss is a bad shot. A good miss is a good shot and you missed it, right? That's an example. Winning and losing. We lost to the Michigan Playmakers. I think that was our first loss. That was a bad miss because we lost because we weren't ready to play. Our energy wasn't correct. Our attitude wasn't correct. We didn't execute the things that we knew how to do. That's a bad miss. Then we lost to a team called the Academy in the Made Hoops. That was a good miss. We played our butts off. We played a really close competitive game and we shocked people there, but we did it with great effort, great intensity, great togetherness, and we lost. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that was a good miss. The first part is understanding the difference between good misses and bad misses, right? And John Maxwell talks about it's learning how to take failure and turn it into an asset is the most powerful thing for your growth in life. You don't really grow when you're just winning, when things are going good. It's human nature. We feel good. We don't have that edge. But when you lose, as long as you're moving closer to your goal, and again, we have to remember, what is our goal? Our goal is to get you guys ready for high school and college and to become better people and better basketball players. It is not just to win games. And the biggest lesson I learned this year was remembering that, because we have such high expectations because we're so talented. You guys are so talented, and it's not normal the things that we can do at your guys' age that you can do. So we've won so much in the past, and there's these false rankings out there, and we've been one in the country and all that stuff. And it's remembering that none of that stuff matters. All that matters is that you guys are growing, you're getting better, and you're moving towards your goal, your individual goals, which we'll talk about later. As long as we're moving towards that, those are successes. Those are powerful successes. Those losses that we're moving in the right direction, that allows us to go watch video, learn the high-low. Oh, this is what we got to do next time we play a team like that. This is where our spacing was off. This is where our effort lacked. This is where our rotations on defense were off. We can improve on that. And it hungers you to go out and do that. And so it's very important, John Maxwell talks about, is to constantly remind yourself of that, so that you know when you go through a failure, your mindset goes to, this is a great opportunity to get better. This is a great opportunity for growth. And I have to challenge myself. And the thing I learned most this year is I have to relay that message to the players, the parents, everyone in our program more consistently, because what I found in the last tournament was all the things that we learned through our failures throughout the season set us up for success on the biggest stage, which was great for your guys in our program. We came second in the nation at the Nike Peach Jam, which was amazing. We had some huge wins, really close games against one of the best teams from Arizona, from Dallas, Texas, from Los Angeles, California. And I saw a lot of things that we had to overcome and work on throughout the season come into play to win those games. That was such an amazing feeling to reflect on. And there was a lot of positive energy in Georgia across the board, from the players to the parents to the coaching staff to the way we approached every game. There was a different energy about us, and that would set us up for success. So the next question I want to ask you is, what are some things that we did and maybe differently this year that you guys feel like were most impactful to help you guys grow?
I think some things that was most impactful was like our discipline, and then last year we was like laughing, and then this year you pay attention more. You gotta stay focused, and you listen to when somebody's saying something, and then you apply it to your game. I think that's the difference from this year and last year.
I agree. That's really well said. We focused more on holding guys accountable, to be disciplined, to lock in at the right times, and to apply the things that we were learning into practices and games. It's so true, and I agree with that. What do you think, Lucas?
Oh, like the film. Like we stay more disciplined because we like took constructive criticism from the film, like what we did wrong, try to apply it to the game and make up for it. And then like the mental stuff helped, like before games, like when we were like not locked in, helped lock us in for the game.
That's awesome. I think the film stuff we need to do more and more. It's awesome. When I was in college, we watched a lot of film. They would film the practices. They show us the practice, right? And the coach would always say, the film don't lie. And you learn so much about spacing and execution and body stance, positioning, like your athletic ability and, being low. And sometimes you don't realize that you're standing up or you're not in a position that you should be because you're fatigued, right? When we're fatigued, we don't realize. So the film is a great teacher, I think. What about you, Nas?
I feel like paying attention to detail. Like with last year, we was just like all practicing together. I feel like this year, like we separated each other. We all just focused on what we would say, our job. Like Coach Ron would say, just do our job. For like the bigs, like me, Warren, sometimes Lucas, and we would sometimes put RJ there. We would focus like on footwork with the guard, handling the ball, shooting up with pressure and other things like that.
It's awesome. That's Coach Ron saying, do your job. I love it because that's what that comes from Nick Saban, the greatest football coach of all time. He used to say, just do your job. Just do your job. So like on the football field, there's so many guys. There's linemen, running back, quarterback. And if everyone just does their job, it's unstoppable. And I feel like that's a powerful message that you guys really grasp by the end of the year. And I saw a lot of doing your job in the Nike tournament at the Peach Jam. The game that sent us to the Final Four, we played a team from California that was a really good team. And we came back and we called timeout. We're down 2. And we drop a play, and I'm so proud of all three of you guys because like you did your job and executed in the most crucial moment of the year. And we get an and one, and Nas scores and he's fouled, and so we'll talk more about that. But I want you guys to reflect on that play. We ran a screen the screener, so RJ cross screen for Nas, and then Lucas down screen for RJ. RJ caught it at the top of the key. And then he eventually finds Nas on a post feed who misses, rebounds, and then scores and the foul. It makes the free throw, and we end up winning by 1 point. So tell me what you remember about that play and then like how you felt after the play.
I remember that play, it was like it was chaotic. Like everybody, their team wanted us to miss it, but our team wanted us to score, and we did that, and we executed the play, and I felt like tension, like felt a little nervous.
Yeah. That's good.
I was nervous the whole way through. When I caught it and I missed both times, I started to like get doubtful. And then when I finally made it, I lucky started getting nervous for the free throw. But then I had to just block out everything and just focus in.
Yeah, I was nervous too. I was nervous when Nas missed the 2 layups. I didn't think he was gonna make it. But then when he made it, I got like excited. So I thought we were gonna win.
Yeah. So it's an amazing thing to think about. So first of all, Nas, I don't know if you remember, but one of the first workouts of the season, you asked me, Coach, can we talk after practice in the office at Holy Name? I said, yes. And you said, Coach, I want to talk about my goals for this year. And I got a notebook. I started writing them down. And I said, you tell me your goals, and then I'll give you some of my goals for you. And the first goal you said was, I don't want to fade away ever. And you were disciplined with that this year. I don't know if it's 100% of the time, but it was very often that you did not fade away when you used to. And in that play, when you missed the first shot, you got the rebound and went a little closer. You missed the second shot and you got the rebound again in the air and went towards the basket on the third shot and scored and the foul. You were going closer to the basket every time. So that's an awesome thing to think about. RJ, the unselfishness and the execution down the stretch, right? If you were open for 3, I told you to take it. It was a screen the screener. They switched the big guy on you. You were open for a second because Lucas set a great screen, which I said, Lucas, that was the last thing I said in the timeout. Make sure you nail RJ's guy. And you did. You nailed him. RJ comes open. They switch from the weak side and you get separation from the big guy to be able to make a perfect pass to Nas to the outside hand. So that he can get the and one. It's just like a lot of good things were done by you 3 guys in that play. And that's what honestly, that's what these tournaments are for. You know, it's to put you in those environments with the stress and the intensity on a big stage that you can't duplicate in local tournaments here. We can't duplicate in practice. We can try to get as close as we want, but there's no way to simulate a game situation at the Peach Jam. And you have to execute a play like that. That is what's going to help you guys when you get to the next level. Okay. All the other growth comes from practice. It comes from film. It comes from mental exercises with Coach Christian. It comes from the team meetings where we're talking about leadership and the things we need to work on and clean up. That's where the growth comes in. So 90% is not in the games, but the 10% is being in those environments. And that's why we travel to Georgia and Florida. And it sounds crazy maybe to other people, but not to us, because it's for those situations to help you guys be prepared, because you can't simulate that. Like what RJ said, the tension and the nervousness, and that you were able to still execute under pressure. That shows that we're on the right path. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's good. Tell me a little bit about your guys' self, like beyond basketball. This is how I want to act. This is how I want to conduct myself. This is what I want people to see when they look at me in the future. Tell me about that.
I want people to see me as like a funny person, but when I need to lock in, I lock in. Mm-hmm. And then in the future, I want to be a dominant person and have respect from a lot of people. And I want to feel good about myself.
Yeah.
I want to be able to supply certain things for people. So, like, say somebody doesn't have a job, I want to be able to put them in the position where they can provide for their families. Mm. I feel like that's what would make me happy later on in life. Like, for some things that I went through, that I'm going through, I want to be able to make it better for younger kids or even the older people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. One of the best quotes I ever heard, and it was last night, but I've heard it in a podcast, is we are most qualified to help the people we used to be. So that means the things you've gone through. That's why I love coaching, because I used to be you guys. I used to dream about some of the things you're dreaming about. And I used to get coached hard, and I used to be on those stages that you guys get to play on. Like, so now I want to use that and help. We're most qualified to help the people we used to be. And that includes the things we go through. So if you're going through something difficult in life, like, the power of that is God can take that and use that for you to help people later in life that are going through those same things, because we are most qualified. It's not the people that read it in the book. It's not the people that are the most educated or that have the most money or have the most connections or the most power. It's the people that have the experiences of the person that needs help in that experience. What about you, Lucas?
I just want people to know me as like a good person who helps people, and I want to like just be nice to others, because when I'm nice to others, it makes me happy too, because like it's just always positive. There's nothing negative.
That's awesome. And I love the fact that nobody said anything about basketball, right? Because that's just the bonus. And you guys are going to be great basketball players. Just know that God gave you gifts to use them. All right. So you should use basketball, but you use it to glorify God, and use it to help other people, and use it to make the people that take care of you proud, like your moms and dads. And you guys are going to do that, but not one of you said anything about basketball. That's amazing. I'm proud of that. Because I don't want your identity to be in basketball. I want it to be in the people that you are. Like, I don't want you to want to be normal, right? We're special. God made all of us unique. He has a purpose for all of our lives. That could include basketball, maybe not. There's nothing inspiring about being normal. I want you guys to be inspired to be who you are, who God made you to be. And that shows me you're on the right path if the answer to that question was not about basketball. That's really cool. What advice would you give to your future self to help you be on a path to get to that goal? What's your advice?
I would say stay humble, work hard, and don't let people that don't like you get to your head, and focus on yourself.
Wow. That's amazing. What about you, Nas?
I say stay positive, stay on the right track, and stay humble.
It's awesome. Lucas?
Never give up. Just never give up, and stay humble.
It's awesome. It's awesome. One of the other speakers last night was Tim Tebow. You guys know who that is?
I heard of him.
Damn, yeah, I'm getting old, man. Former football player. He does a lot of different causes now. He's a great speaker, but he won the Heisman in football. He went on and played for the Denver Broncos. Really powerful speaker, but talks a lot about God, and he's a Christian, and he had some amazing messages. He said the most important characteristic we can have is humility. Okay, because God talks about that in the Bible, that he favors the humble and opposes the proud. And he talked about that. He goes, think about that. God opposes the proud. That means if you're a proud person, I'm this and I'm prideful and with a lack of humility, God is your opponent. I never thought of it that way. Like, you don't want God to be your opponent. So like we are strongly pushed and encouraged to be humble. And the way to stay humble is just to remember, there's so much people with need out there. There's so much people that don't have the abilities that God gave us. We are extremely grateful to be able to play basketball at a high level or coach basketball at a high level. And we got to remain, and it challenges me, because how many times do I say, I'm proud of you guys, or I'm proud of what we're doing, and we got to take pride in what we do. And I'm like, wow, I'm sending the wrong messages. We need to be grateful for what we do. We need to be grateful for the gifts that we have. When we win a big game, we need to be grateful for that joy in that moment. Not a lot of people get to experience running off the court against 94-foot elite and having that joy and, that elation that we had. Like, we got to have gratitude for that. And that's awesome that you guys understand that already. And the other one is resiliency. He said that's the second biggest characteristic that we need to have. And that's what sports is really can teach us, how to be resilient. We went through a lot of, from an outside view, a lot of struggle this year because we lost more games than we normally do. But it's because we were playing really good competition, and it had nothing to do with the type of work we were putting in. But it forced us to be resilient there can be a lot of negative voices on the outside when you start losing. People start questioning things, and it can make you start to question things. Resilient people stay the course. They stay on their mission. I saw that from all three of you guys. You stayed, your attitude, your effort never changed throughout the season. Your willingness to do what was being asked of you never strayed. After wins, after losses, no matter what other people were saying, that's powerful, because you're going to go through a lot more difficult things in your life than just losing basketball games. That's nothing, So it's really good stuff. I want to hear your favorite memory of this season outside of basketball. So a non-basketball related memory.
My favorite memory from this season that's non-basketball is like hanging out with my teammates or going to occasions with family, friends, or anybody.
Yep.
I feel like mine was with Coach Christian when we was early morning in Indiana, waking up, going to the pier, and just talk about life.
That's awesome. I remember that. Yep. Lucas?
In Indiana, we played football in
the
yard with Christian.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That's awesome. Just that overall experience was mine. Just staying in the Airbnb with everybody in Indianapolis and seeing you guys like bond and do stuff like that is really cool. What about favorite basketball memory this year?
My favorite basketball memory is the last game, the 94 feet game, when Nas hit the and-1 and then made the free throw, and then we all ran off the court excited.
Probably the last tournament, we were underdogs because we only had 7 people and we were missing 4 people.
Yeah.
Still got second.
Yeah. Yeah, mine was the last play of the 94 feet elite game. Not just the and-1. I'm talking about the defensive stop. First of all, that was the longest 5 seconds of my life, I think. I felt like that was 10 seconds. But I watched the film. It was real 5 seconds. It just feels long because we're just holding on for the win. But seeing you guys run off the court and celebrating in excitement, that was my favorite memory. Tell me what Playmaker University means to you guys and what it's about.
When I think of it, I think of a culture, brotherhood, and then it's about togetherness and treating each other good and having a good mindset for years to come.
I feel like it's making everybody in the program better, not just yourself. I feel like it helps everybody when we're trying to push each other to the max.
Yeah.
I feel like it's life lessons and better than basketball and togetherness.
So those are all awesome things. I love that you guys that's your takeaway, because it's true. It's bigger than basketball. We say it all the time, but I know for me and Coach Ron, it really is. We really care about you guys and love you guys. I really do. And I want it to be a platform that just helps build people up, as basketball players, as people. And we're doing that, and we're continuing to build the culture and the organization with positive things that are going to help you guys get to the next level, like Coach Christian, like some of the other coaches in the program, the other players that are starting to come into the program, and we want to protect it. This is a very valuable thing because it can help shape the lives of kids like you guys. So it's bigger than basketball because it's a platform that can do so many good things. And you guys are great examples of what our program is supposed to be about, and you're great representations of who we are. And that's big for me. It's really important to me. I want you guys to give some advice to kids on our 3rd and 4th and next year, let's say 5th grade. Talk to those guys. How you've grown from 4th grade to now. Tell them what they should be doing.
Focus on your emotions, and when the refs make a bad call, just think that they're human too, so they make mistakes.
Yep.
And then try to block it out. Like when you see the ref holding up your number, just look away and block it out.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I feel like being confident, like trusting your work is a good key.
That's awesome. Because you were real nervous when you started, right?
So very nervous. I didn't. The first time I came, I did not want to come. My mom had to force.
Yeah, it was uncomfortable. That's good. Nice. Lucas?
Like, focus on emotions. Like, stay positive in games because just going to make it worse if you get mad at the ref or mad at a teammate. And just, like, face your fears. Don't be nervous.
You guys just spoke on 3 things that you've grown in the most. You with controlling your emotions, with refs, and when you're struggling, you've made unbelievable progress in that. And I'm so proud of you for that. You and your confidence and how you've grown over the last couple of years, like being comfortable on the court, being comfortable talking and being a leader. From where you started to where you are now, it's incredible, right? What you've done on the basketball court in 2 years, 2.5 years. And Lucas, you're a perfectionist. You're really hard on yourself. I was like that too. Like, you want to do everything 100% right. And that can be a power, but you've learned where it can be hindering, and you're working on that. And you made a lot of progress this year in that, a lot. And man, you're a difference maker on the biggest stages now. And from where you started to now, that's tremendous.